Have you ever fallen out with someone? Or had that situation where something's happened and it just causes such emotion, such anger, such frustration, and it's so intense that in that moment you get so angry. And it's amazing, isn't it, that the most calm person, the most rational person in that heat of that moment can really lose it in just a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And in that time you could say the most damaging thing, or you could do the most damaging thing in 3 seconds. Your life could change in 3 seconds. And how that person can affect you can last the rest of your life just by what they say or what they do in that one moment. And it's easy, isn't it, just to kind of get caught up in that emotion and to allow yourself just to get angry, and then do you ever find yourself just wanting to get even with that person? Or maybe you want to hurt them like they've hurt you? It's crazy, isn't it? How those emotions are so powerful, so intense, they can literally grab hold of us and just change the rest of our life in that one moment. What about if life could be different? What about instead of that anger that we feel, if there's a way of just maybe looking at that situation differently? Have you ever had that email that comes across, or that text message, and you just get so cross? Because maybe that's the way that you view it. Maybe that's the way you understand it. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how that other person meant it, but once it's there, it's out there. The same way as when we get angry, and in that moment, it's there. Wouldn't it be great if, instead of reacting like that in that place of anger and frustration automatically, as many of us do, if we could just stop and pause before we speak or before that action takes place? And hindsight is wonderful, isn't it? Maybe we could go back to those situations and maybe do them differently, but it's often too late. So we can't go back, we can't change the past, but we can change the now. We can change the future. We don't have to keep being that same person. The way we react, we don't have to keep on doing that and repeating those same patterns, the same damaging relationships, by the way that we accept things, the way that we take things on. We can change that. And I'm not saying it's overnight. I'm not saying it's like some sort of magic wand, because that's not the way it is. But you know what? Sometimes by taking a step back, sometimes by maybe viewing something differently, maybe by changing the way we read something, or maybe questioning it that little bit more, or maybe letting go of whatever's there to make it less intense. If you're one of those people that get caught by that emotion, just to let you know that there are other ways, because I don't want to be that person who gets caught up by those emotions. I've visited many friends who've ended up in prison because of those 1, 2, 3 second actions. I've been in a hospital and seen many people respond in those 1, 2, 3 second incidents. And personally, I don't want to see any more people in prison. I don't want to see any more people in hospital. And I certainly don't want to visit any more gravestones or funerals. So maybe if this message is for you and you need help in maybe anger and frustration, don't let it control you. You be the master of it. It can be done. Thank you for listening. I'm Steve Alexander, Peace of Mind Coaching.